They're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work. Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financed. Available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18 cubic foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to owenappliance.com to learn more. That's owenappliance.com.
Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
There you go. For the first time in 2 weeks, we come to you live from the studios of 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond, welcome in on a Thursday morning. A Thursday morning that's going to see temperatures climb to the 90s. Right now, currently 78 degrees in the Tennessee Valley. Plenty of sunshine headed our way. Plenty of sunshine headed our way over the next few days. Those air-conditioned systems going to be working overtime. So you better make sure you give our good friends at Talent Heating and Air a call, 256-503-4490. Let their talent do some work for you. TalentHVAC.com. They can service Huntsville and the surrounding areas. Tune-up, service repair, ductwork, natural gas system installation. Thomas, Terry, Jeremy, give them a call because you want this all taken care of before the start of football season really gets underway. So TalentHVAC.com. That's where you can get a hold of the boys and they can take care of everything for you that they need to. Last week at SEC Media Days, a conversation circled A lot of people like to hear themselves talk, and some people, I was going to say a blubbering bovine, said that Nick Saban was going to return to the coaching ranks. That was said there at SEC Media Days. Yesterday on Colin Cowherd, he had some interesting things to say about Nick Saban and the fact that Nick Saban could indeed return to coaching, this time in the NFL. Here's Colin.
In fact, this is the worst kept secret in the South. Haslam, Jimmy, owner of the Browns, huge SEC Tennessee booster, leans heavily on the Manning family. Very close to the Manning family. Yes, that's not make-believe. Arch Manning is part of the Manning family, and this is where Nick Saban comes in.
Really?
Saban is incredibly close to not only Jimmy Haslam, but Saban's close to the Manning family as well. And so Saban, if he could land, I'm told, a top quarterback like Harbaugh going to the Chargers for Herbert, he would take a phone call for the NFL. And there are two teams guaranteed to be awful this year in the NFL: Cleveland and the Saints. Nick Saban has coached in Cleveland with the Browns under the Belichick staff, and he coached at LSU. This is not a conspiracy theory. Haslam's circle of trust, according to an article in The Athletic last year, is the Manning family and Jimmy Sexton and Bill Parcells. Sexton is Nick Saban's agent.
Really?
So the Mannings are royalty in New Orleans. The Children's Hospital in New Orleans is called the Mannings Children's Hospital. And the Mannings are royalty to Jimmy Haslam. Jimmy Haslam also loves headlines. That's why he pushed to draft Johnny Manziel and Baker Mayfield. They were the most talked about quarterbacks. It's why he signed a ridiculous guaranteed contract for Deshaun Watson. It would get discussed. So this is not a conspiracy theory. Okay? The circle of trust for Jimmy Haslam is the Manning family and Jimmy Sexton.
There you go. Colin Cowherd laying it out there for us this morning.
And his batting average isn't very good if anybody's ever this is the same guy that didn't know Joe Burrow was a backup quarterback at Ohio State, okay? With Urban Meyer sitting right next to him. But if Jimmy Haslam's circle of trust is the Manning family and Sexton, why do they still suck every year? Come on, John. Why do they still suck every year?
Don't know.
Because the owner's an idiot. That's why. He knows how to build gas stations, but he doesn't know how to build a football team. All right. They suck. 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 The Browns, the mistake by the lake. Okay. I mean, it's just like that's basically what they are right now. And it's sad because they had such a rich history before they were reborn in 1999.
Right.
I mean, this was one of a flagship organization. They just didn't win. They haven't won a modern day Super Bowl, but they won a bunch of NFL championships. And they were very close to winning a few Super Bowls. John Elway, others got in the way.
So Colin's under the impression, though, that Arch Manning is only going to play 1 year in college football, right? By listening to that, is that the takeaway, that he's assuming Arch is going to play 1 year of college football, be drafted by the Browns, who are going to be so awful that they will take him again, take another quarterback, and then hire Nick Saban as their head coach?
Got to switch hands here. Got to do a little lefty here. Okay, how many years of college football did Eli Manning play?
3, 4,
5,
6,
5. He redshirted.
Yes.
How many did Peyton play?
I know he played 4.
Yes, correct. How many did Archie play?
Now that
4.
4.
Yeah. And actually, I'll let me correct myself. Yeah. He did, because they really didn't have red shirts back then. You know,
because freshmen couldn't play.
He played 3 years, so he played 4. Cooper had to retire before his college career got started. Or how many would he have played?
Now that I was not familiar with
4
Cooper.
or 5 years.
Okay.
You see the pattern there, though?
Right. Eli started 2021, or not 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2003.
Yeah, but you see the pattern?
Yes.
I don't see Arch being a one-year starter and then going to the NFL. He's already took himself through a redshirt year. If he's so close to the Mannings, don't you understand that?
No, that's what I'm taking away. That's what I
don't expect Arch to go pro after this 1 year.
Yeah, according to Colin right there, he would assume that he's 1 year of college football.
The kid is a redshirt sophomore. Now, have there been other kids like Johnny Dumbass, a.k.a. Manziel, that went pro after his redshirt sophomore year? By the way, he drafted Johnny Boy. How did that go?
Not so well.
Okay. All he does is host podcasts now. All right?
Yes.
And ask Patrick Surtain questions because he sucked.
Right.
In the pros, great college player, but not real smart going pro after his redshirt sophomore year, okay? Now, I could see Ty Simpson doing it, but he's already a redshirt junior. He's older than Arch. Arch is a redshirt sophomore going into this year.
I could see Ty coming back.
And Ty could come back. I'm just saying he would be more apt to go after 1 year. And of course, Mac Jones did it. Has it worked out as a starting quarterback for Mac Jones? No, but he's still a backup quarterback in the NFL. But Arch and the Manning family especially, this is looking at the Manning family. And if you're so close to them, then you ought to know this. Instead of just bloviating like a moron, then more than likely the kid's going to be there. He's going to start at least 2 years, and the earliest he would leave would be as a redshirt junior. But I wouldn't even be shocked if he played 3 years. Okay, he doesn't need the money. He's already making $3 million in NIL, and my Lord, he doesn't even need that because I think the Manning family's doing all right. So they don't rush things. That's the thing I like about the Manning family. Right. They're not desperate to get there as fast as they can and fall on their faces, like so many of them are. Give me the check, give me the check, give me the check.
Yeah, the NFL's not going anywhere. It's going to be there in 2, 3, 4 years. Yes.
So
yes.
I'm just saying Arch needs to develop. I don't see them hurrying it. And then there's only one NFL scenario for Nick Saban to me that makes sense, and I think it's about a dadgum 5% chance.
Well, does any of it make sense for him to come back to coaching, period?
To me, no. But I said this on the drive last night. I did say, and Matt Muscone, a great friend of the show, can you imagine if Nick Saban came back and coached the Saints? Because, look, at the LSU folks, they all love him still. They all hated the fact, and the people in Louisiana that he went to Alabama. But if he came back to save the Saints, so to speak, and try to get them back to where Sean Payton had them.
Okay.
And by the way, I don't think it would be this year.
No.
But say in 2 years he came back, the Saints were still struggling. They decided to make a coaching change. They get Nick Saban, and Nick Saban decides to take the job because they get the first pick in the draft. And can you imagine the madness it would be if they drafted Arch Manning, number 1 overall, a kid from New Orleans who's coming back to QB the Saints, and Nick Saban's the coach.
His grandfather
It would be bonkers.
Okay, so twofold with that. Nick Saban, let's play that out.
I don't think it's going to happen though. If he comes back, all that.
But what if he did? What if he did come back to the Saints and it goes horrendously bad?
Well, I mean, the thing is with Coach Saban, I think the only way he would come back, and it doesn't guarantee it's going to go great,
right?
But he they missed out on Drew Brees when he was with the Dolphins. They took Dante Culpepper, didn't go well. He would have to almost be assured via either the draft or free agency that they were going to have a top level quarterback. Now, one quarterback I could see him coming back for that. What if the Saints, in a couple years, they are looking to hire a coach and say they don't have the first pick in the draft. But what if they traded a top 10 pick for Tua Tagovailoa? Because I think Saban would trade for Tua. He loved Tua. He knows Tua is a top-level QB that if you surround him with the right players, he can win a Super Bowl. Hell, Jalen Hurts did. So that's all you got to know. I mean, Hurts has turned himself into a good pro, but Tua's put up better numbers and Tua and been a top 100 player, and he could win a Super Bowl with the right talent around him too. So that would be another situation where Saban might come back if you could trade for the right QB. But the whole common denominator is quarterback. You got to have a great quarterback to win in the NFL. And I don't think Saban would come back unless you had a top-level quarterback. Whether you draft him or trade for him, he's not going to come back and coach David Carr or his brother.
But, I mean, this all could be just hot takes, hot rumors, hot whatever.
I think it is. I don't think he's coming back.
That's the
Look
ultimate.
Look at Colin Cowherd's track record. His track record is that of, the mighty Casey has struck out. Okay? That's basically what he does on all these big topics. The only thing he's ever said smart lately is LeBron James is an idiot. And he's basically said that. I mean, I read one of the stupidest takes I've ever seen on X yesterday, that LeBron James would bully Michael Jordan. If there's one thing that I can guarantee you in basketball, he would not physically bully Michael Jordan.
Oh, yes. Yes. That was the one where the doofus compared the physicality of the game now to the physicality
he wasn't
of
really
what
even doing
LeBron.
that. It wasn't even that one. This was another one. This was showing them both with their shirts off, and I think they had imposed a head on Jordan's head on somebody's body, saying LeBron. So, and I thought, well, HGH helps people sometimes, but I also thought,
somebody went out on a podcast the other day and said LeBron took HGH when he was in Miami.
Yeah, that was one of his teammates. Well. And we're
getting off the
and a guy that's vain, he wouldn't do that, would he? But I mean, like I said, there's no way he wouldn't bully Michael Jordan physically, and Michael Jordan would break him mentally. There is no question in my mind, because LeBron James has the mental toughness of a great, because he flops all over the court. All right. He's a great player. He's a top 30 player of all time. He's not in my top 20. So anybody that doesn't like that, they can stick it.
All right. Well, we're talking college football because, by the way, we're only 30 days, 4 hours, 46 minutes, and 59 seconds away from the start of a new college football season. The Big Ten Media Days are ongoing in the desert in Las Vegas. And one Big Ten coach is not a fan of having those in Las Vegas.
Well, dadgum, why would they?
Wait till you hear what he said and who it is coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. But hurry, this offer is only good through June 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. It's Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa, starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
The Atlanta Braves.
Cranks one high in the air to deep left field. That's going to fly away. It's a 3-run homer. And Sean Murphy off the injured list and onto the stat page with a 3-run homer off Zach Wheeler.
All season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Somebody's laughing. I mean, I wish somebody would have called me. Did you know Joe Burrow played at Ohio State before he went to LSU?
That's very good points. Very, very good points. If you just joining Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, we led off the show this morning with Colin Cowherd drumming up some conversation by claiming that Arch Manning would potentially be drafted by the Cleveland Browns, and that would lure Nick Saban off the sidelines and back into coaching in the NFL ranks because he is close, and the Manning family is close to the Haslam family.
But we do know Nick Saban at one time was Bill Belichick's defensive coordinator in Cleveland.
Yes.
Okay, he was the DC in Cleveland before he went to Toledo to be the head coach. But look, I just don't see it happening. I mean, the Browns, they'd have to show some more signs of life of being a good organization. They just have not. And, you know, the Dolphins had a better history, when Saban took the job than the Cleveland Browns, okay? And his tenure was mediocre at Miami. We had a good, decent first year, 9-7. Last second year, I believe they went 6-10, something like that. But, you know, they just couldn't solve the quarterback issue. And I think they would be more apt to be able to solve it maybe with the Saints and again, it also goes back to his wife. And I know they lived in Cleveland at one time, but I would say Miss Terry and Coach Saban had a better experience living in Louisiana than they did, when they were in Cleveland, I would imagine. So, I mean, I can't see him being the Browns head coach. And you made a great point off there when we got a message too.
Yeah, Tim Hill on
yeah.
our Facebook page says that, hey, look.
This is a good point.
Remember, I can't even fathom a Manning playing for Cleveland if Eli refused San Diego.
Amen. And San Diego organization, not great, but I mean, since neither one of them in the modern era have won a Super Bowl,
right?
But I can't see them.
But at least San Diego has been to one.
Yeah, now, I can see Arch
couple. I should
playing
say.
for the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, he grew up in New Orleans, but I mean, the Cleveland Browns, I just can't see it. It doesn't make any sense to me, man.
What we do know is Arch Manning was at SEC Media Days, and he carried himself very well
Yes, he did.
in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
SEC Media Days in Atlanta.
Oh, boy.
Fits the footprint, right?
Right.
It does. It's beautiful. Great location. The Big Ten Media Days, heck, they started those in Chicago. Then they moved them to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Fits the footprint of the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
This year, they put it in Las Vegas. Yes, you got your West Coast schools, but doesn't really fit the Big Ten footprint. James Franklin, the Penn State head coach. Oh, he's not a fan of the Big Ten Media Days in Las Vegas. And he let him know because he compared it to that other conference.
Oh, boy.
A lot of our beat writers did not come to this because they couldn't afford to get out here. And the majority of our teams are near Chicago, where this used to always be. The majority of our teams are near Indianapolis, where this used to be. And it creates a different environment. I walk around the lobby. I don't see any signage. I don't see anything for the Big Ten. I don't see people getting autographs. I don't see it's a different vibe and it's a different feeling. I think that other conference, when they have their meetings, there's essentially a press conference every single day at the end of the meetings. It keeps people talking about that conference at a time of the year and makes them relevant. We're not doing that. We need to be talking about the Big Ten and our programs and the things that we have done and making it as accessible to everybody as we possibly can and connecting with the fans. And don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I think Vegas is a special place, and I think they run events as well as anybody. But it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling, and I've been at those other places where people are putting up babies for you to autograph and stuff. It's different.
It just means more.
I think there's still some things that we got to be strategic and smart about that are going to put our conference and our schools in the best position on a national level, in my opinion.
All I know is Texas A&M, and Oklahoma, and of course Texas and Oklahoma have only been in the league a year, but none of them won a conference. Now, and in Oregon's first year, what happened?
They are your Big Ten Conference champions.
They were the number one seed in the college football playoff. Now,
Yes.
Ohio State whacked them and then won the national championship. But the deep and vaunted Big Ten let some lefty schools from the Pac-12 come in, and they were all, basically near the top of the league. I mean, Washington wasn't near the top, near was UCLA. But look, we all know that Oregon basically dominated the league in the regular season. Now they had to win, an electric close game against Ohio State at home in Autzen Stadium, but they did that.
Yes,
and that's just the bottom line, man. And USC, they had a couple of bright moments, but right now they got the number one recruiting class in the country according to all the services, and they're in the vaunted Big Ten. So look,
I love the fact that he will not say the SEC.
Well, I mean, at least he won big games in that
other
league.
conference.
He doesn't win many at Penn State. I know he made the playoff, but that's only because it expanded. He better thank the Lord for that because it'll probably keep him employed for another, 5-6 years at least. But his big game record at Penn State against Ohio State and Michigan and the ones that matter is horrendous. I think everybody knows that. I mean, I think Franklin's a good coach. He's certainly not an elite coach. I thought when he was at Vanderbilt and when he first got to Penn State, I thought he was an elite coach. I thought he might win a national championship. Instead, basically, he's just a little bit better version of Dan Mullen.
He can recruit better than Dan Mullen.
Yeah, he can.
He actually recruits.
He does. I mean, he got Jordan Matthews. I mean, he was smart. He was the smartest guy in the room to recruit.
Well, Saturday, September 27th, that is the rubber meets the road for James Franklin because not in case of firing or anything like that, but you mentioned his big game record. He hosts Oregon on Saturday, September 27th.
Right.
Penn State does. So there's a chance for him to I guess
lose another big game.
Yes. Or win another big game.
Lose another big game.
Because you look at their schedule, They have Oregon on the 27th, and then they got UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa, but then it's Ohio State in the shoe on November 1st. And then after that, it's Indiana, Michigan State, Nebraska, and Rutgers.
That's one big game he better win.
That is a formidable schedule for Penn State to make the playoffs yet again
they better
in 2025. Oh, Kurt Cignetti. You got to love him, though, right?
No.
He was asked yesterday because he made some more rounds. He was asked yesterday if he felt nervous of a 9-3 SEC team getting in over an 11-1 Big Ten team.
Yeah,
him.
Mm-hmm.
Were you actually nervous that they might take a 9-3 team over y'all's one-loss team? Like, how much were you buying into the rhetoric and some of the stuff from the shows that that might happen?
No, I wasn't. Not after the Purdue game. I did get a little nervous after we lost to Ohio State, and then subsequently the SEC teams went down later in the day because I could feel the tidal wave coming from the South. Major networks that cover the SEC.
Sure.
Yes. Like, where'd this come from? I thought we were a feel-good story. All of a sudden, we're the hunted enemy.
You didn't beat anybody with the polls, bro. That's all I'm going to say.
He just kept on going yesterday again.
And if there had been, and that's where Sankey needs to clean some stuff up. The SEC officiating's got to get better. Because if there had been a 2-loss team, Indiana's ass is at the crib. They're not going to be
two-loss SEC team in your mind better than a 1-loss Indiana team.
Crying your beer over Jack and Diane, whatever you got to do, you're not going to be there. So it would have been, because any of those 2-loss teams. By the way, how many did Ohio State lose?
Ohio State last year, 2.
Yeah, and how bad did they beat Indiana? Like a yard dog. So. I'm just telling you.
Well, you talk about big game records. I mean, really, last year, the Ohio State game was, outside of the playoffs, going into the playoffs, that was Kurt Cignetti's biggest game in the Big Ten, and he lost it. Yeah. And he lost again in the playoffs. All right, let's get a break in. Because I don't know, Tennessee's got a weird situation going on up there with the football team. There's a player not there, not at camp. Why? Adam Sparks is in next. He can kind of help us figure that one out.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm chief meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-90s. A couple of isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible, but I also think the vast majority of us are going to end up staying dry. We drop into the mid-70s through the overnight. Much the same for your Friday. A mostly to partly sunny sky. Temperatures climbing into the low 90s. A couple of isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment you need to get any job done. I'm talking about the big track hoe excavators, from the 30,000-pound mid-size one to the big boy 50,000-pound units. Need a dozer on the job? Well, they've got them up to 105 horsepower, and that's a good-sized machine. Plus, Valley Equipment has more lifts than anyone around. Up to 80-foot booms that reach 56 feet with a 10,000-pound capacity. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Check them out today.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department. You can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. How about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's got a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
What's happening? What's happening is there is news on Rocky Top in regards to the Tennessee football program, or I should say an individual not with the program right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's these rumors started a few days ago, and it's been a while since we've had our next guest on our show. It's been too long, actually. He did an amazing job with the Tennessean covering Vanderbilt. We featured him. Now, for the last few years, he has been with the Knox News, or the Knox News Sentinel, and he covers the Tennessee Volunteers as good as anyone. It's great to reconnect with him. He had this story yesterday, and I saw it on X, but a lot of this stuff is rumors. And then our great friend
kind of read over it and it was like,
our great friend Jimmy Himes, like he was on.
Is it a parody account?
Well,
is
that's
it real?
Jimmy was talking about that last night. He said at one time, I think I had 20 fake accounts. And of course, Jimmy is semi-retired. We know for the Sports Animal 99.1 in Knoxville. But our next guest certainly isn't retired. He's as connected as anybody, and he's taken a few minutes to join us, and that is Adam Sparks. Adam, it's great to have you back in Huntsville with Drew and Scott. Good morning.
Hey, guys. How we doing? Good to be back on. Yeah, I remember those Jimmy Himes parody accounts. I almost fell for a few of them, I remember.
Well, I mean, the one that you really got to watch out for with Tennessee is the Richard G. West one.
Oh, that one too.
I remember when that one first came out.
I told people, like, Richard G. West is fake.
It's fake, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think there are so many. If I could just count the times that a screenshot was texted to me by a Tennessee fan that I would know. Is this real? No, it's not.
But what we're talking about is real, right?
Yeah, me, you, and a DB named Boo.
Yeah.
So what is going on with Boo Carter? Because this doesn't sound great right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a million rumors swirling around, but what I know is that he missed a number of team activities in the summer recently. Team meetings, workouts mostly, things that get pretty much 100% attendance at this point in the summer, but he didn't show up to them. He finally showed up eventually, had sort of cut off some contact. When he did show up, he was confronted by some of the team leaders. Hey, dude, where you been? Where you at? You're expected to be here. Everybody else is here. That got heated, from what my understanding, and then the relationships there with some of those team leaders strained, and the communication with the team and Josh Heupel is, I guess, limited is what I would say at best. And so we're sort of in the waiting mode now of whether or not, I mean, Carter's on the roster, but it appears there's going to have to be some kind of a resolution between now and what would be next Tuesday's media day, maybe even Monday, which I think report day. Practice starts next Wednesday. I mean, they've got to have if he's still on the roster Tuesday, then I guess we're good to go. But one way or another, Josh Heupel is going to have to address it because pretty much everybody in Knoxville now knows that Boo Carter is not taking part in the team activities that everybody else is.
NIL related?
Not that I could tell. No, I have heard nothing of NIL. It's more of just that he's not there with the team. And I mean, the thing is, I mean, and I've had some people reach out to me and say, well, these are voluntary workouts. We always say voluntary in quotes throughout college football because do you have to be there? But you kind of do, and that's always been the case. Like if a guy doesn't show up to summer workouts, like it's going to cost him during the season, whether that seems fair or not. But in this era now, I mean, they get 20 hours a week with coaches, so you do have actual time. Like back in the day, you technically could not see coaches, or coaches couldn't be out there.
Right
now, under the current rules, you can. So coaches are there with them. But then also you have this added layer since really just July 1st. This is brand new that they're getting rev share money. I mean, they get a check cut from the school. So I think that adds a layer of accountability to it. I mean, I did a piece recently this summer where it laid out, like, if you take just the math of the roster numbers, you take what the rev share is for football divided by the number of scholarship players. And we don't know how much each of them are getting paid, but on average, it's going to be around $200,000. Boo Carter is one of the best players in the team, so his rev share would be much higher than that. Like, hey, dude, you're making six figures plus NIL. Like, you got to be at the morning workout. You just have to.
Yeah, I mean, and then from what I understand, he had a good spring. I thought he was in attendance for that, and is it true that they even gave him a look on offense, that they were trying to expand his role a little bit, Adam?
Yeah, and I think that was the thing about it is Boo Carter is supposed to be the most dedicated in terms of time and attention of any player on the team, except maybe the quarterbacks, because he's a phenomenal defensive back. He plays nickel, and nickel is probably their most important position in the secondary. They put a lot on them. He played nickel as a freshman, was really good, was one of the best punt runners in the SEC, and would be coming back. And then they're short at wide receiver. They're young at wide receiver. Boo Carter and his people said in the offseason, hey, you guys promised me during recruiting more than a year ago that I would be able to play both ways. And so they said, okay, we'll give you your shot. In the spring, he ran routes. He played both ways. And the plan was for him to get some time in the slot in the season and be somewhat in the wide receiver rotation. But boy, that takes a lot. The caveat was always, you can't let anything on defense, especially, or special teams slip because of your time on offense, which means you've got to spend a lot of time to make sure you can do everything.
So Josh Heupel's decision, I mean, if he shows up, if Boo Carter shows up, I mean, this is not water under the bridge, but I mean, things will happen, but he will be there. If he doesn't show up and Josh Heupel has to make a decision, whether with the team, not with the team, where does that leave the Vols then position-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Heupel wants Boo Carter back, and the way he's going to get back, I think, is first he's going to have to go to some teammates and sort of hash that out. If he can smooth those things out, then convincing Josh Heupel to keep him on the team is not a hard decision. The teammates are going to have to approve this before the coach is. I mean, they've got guys in the secondary, but they lost a lot in the portal, just like everybody does. This is one of those things. I mean, they've gone through it at quarterback too, obviously, with losing Nico at the end of spring, that if you knew you could lose guys like this closer to the season, it probably would have changed who left in the portal. And that's certainly the case in the secondary. I mean, Jalen McMurray can play nickel. There's a couple of the guys that can play nickel. Jalen McMurray was a Temple transfer a year ago. He was their third corner a year ago. But right now he's needed for maybe their second corner. because Jermond McCoy, their All-American corner, is out for a while with a knee injury. So you're starting to thin things out there a little bit if Boo Carter's not there. If Boo Carter is there, I think they'll still be pretty solid in the secondary.
We're talking to Adam Sparks, Knox News, talking with the Boo Carter situation uncertain right now for Tennessee. And it would be a big loss because, as Adam has said, starting nickel, really good player. We're going to try to work him in at wide receiver. I will say when I'm trying to, and I did rank my to the top the preseason top 16 in the SEC, rank them 1 through 16. I don't really know where to put Tennessee. Tennessee to me is a wild card. I think they could be maybe a 9-win team. I think it'd be a 7-win team, maybe a 6-win team. The schedule's interesting. And then, the quarterback situation with Joey Aguilar, how good is he going to be after Nico, as you said, departed? They still should be good on defense, but I had Boo Carter in that in that equation with him, missing now that, and then of course the injury to McCoy. What are your thoughts on Tennessee? Where do they stand in your mind?
Yeah, I think you're right that it's hard to gauge them because, I've seen Tennessee, at 9 or 10 or a lot of preseason polls. I voted them higher than that. I don't remember where, maybe like 6 or something. They could go anywhere in between those or outside those. If you tell me quarterback works out well,
yes,
then this is if it works out well, they're a 9-3 team. Because their schedule is soft, at least relative to the SEC team. If you tell me quarterback doesn't work out well, then you could see a 6-6, 7-5 team. I mean, the fact that now, if you look at their schedule, it's hard to find. If their defense is pretty good, I think it will be with or without Boo Carter. It's hard to find a lot of SEC losses. I mean, they got Georgia early, so if you count that a loss. They're at Alabama. They beat Alabama at home. They've lost on the road. If you count that as a loss, they have to go to the Swamp, which, that they haven't won in the Swamp in a long, long, long time. If you count those 3 as losses, you can still be at 9-3, and just by beating Mississippi State and Arkansas and Vanderbilt and Kentucky and beat Oklahoma at Neyland. What I just named off does not take a playoff level team to do. So I think there's a path here to get to be pretty good and get to 9-3 because that schedule is not that daunting. But you could Oklahoma, you could trip up in one of those other games. They usually lose a game on the road that they otherwise should win, and so the wheels could come off quickly, especially if they don't have an answer at quarterback, and that's just a big question. When Nico left, they brought in Joey Aguilar. Mm-hmm. He was really good at App State 2 years ago, but he led the country in interceptions last year. He's never played in an SEC game. He's learning the system basically really fast over the summer. And behind him, they've got 2 guys that were highly rated recruits, but they haven't played. So it could be a problem.
What about the offensive line to protect him or whoever is under center there?
Yeah, we could have a freshman playing left tackle.
Yeah, I mean, he's the David Sanders. He'll play right tackle.
Oh, so he'll be right? Okay.
Yeah, he'll be right. I mean, he is. Yeah, it's one of those things. David Sanders is a 5-star. He was the number 1 tackle in the country coming out. But you guys know as well as I do, like offensive line is not, of all the positions that play immediately, that's not the one you want. Now they like him a lot. He's up to 310 pounds. He looks the part.
Nice.
But there's 4 new starters on the offensive line. This team was so old last year, where everybody else sort of the COVID seniors mostly 2 years ago was their last year. Tennessee was able to retain most of their guys. So Tennessee kept their COVID seniors, I would say, 1 more year than most other teams. But now you're seeing what happens in the year after, which is, this is Josh Heupel's 5 teams. This is technically the most talented. If you look at recruit rankings, this is the most 4-star, 5-stars he's had on a team. But it's also the youngest. Half of the roster is freshmen. If you just count walk-ons, half of the roster is freshmen, but it's the most 4 and 5 stars he's had. If you're really, really young, but you're also potentially talented, that's where a whole lot of possibilities open for this team falling off the radar, or this team surprising a lot of people. It's probably the most interesting, intriguing season I've had covering Josh Heupel, because I don't know what this is going to be.
Well, and then with Josh Heupel and the fans, there was some consternation at first with the Nico Iamaleava situation, but when people kept peeling back the onion and what was happening and almost being held hostage, a lot of fans applauded Heupel for the way he handled that situation, letting him leave the program, going and getting Joey Aguilar, because they just felt like Nico and his family mishandled it. But if this Boo Carter situation isn't resolved, where he's staying with Tennessee, how do you think the fan base reacts to this? Because I know Boo Carter, Chattanooga kid, he was supremely popular.
Yes, and still is, I would say, within the fan base. I mean, the majority of the fan base, I would say, is like, man, I hope this works out. Boo's a really good dynamic player. He is liked. He's an in-state kid. And teammates especially love him on game day. I mean, he is an energy guy.
Right.
But it's, the longer this goes, the more you wonder if it's going to work out. Here's the interesting thing with the Nico situation. At the press conference on the day that they announced he's gone, and they had their very public divorce, Josh Heupel came out after the spring game that day and said, "No one is bigger than the Power T." And there was a rallying cry for that team and the fan base and the leaders on that team. Said, "Hey, this is, the coach is doing the right thing. Nobody's bigger than the team, Power T." But that line has started to kind of recycle and reverberate around the program now. Every time you get a guy, and it's the only time since then, Boo Carter, every time you get a guy that seems like that he may be looking at himself as bigger than the program, at least that's the thought, then that line comes right back. And it's, you've seen it on social media the past few days. Nobody's bigger than the Power T. So in that way, I think Josh Heupel helped himself by laying out those words, but it could also sort of creep back in if he has a few guys that are bending their responsibilities. Because if if that happened with Nico, the thought is that's going to happen with other guys. And Nico did not show up at a practice, and that was sort of the end. These are not practices; these are summer workouts, but you can still see how they're related.
No question.
I guess in 5-6 days, this could be not a story, or it could be even bigger in 5 to 6 days.
Yeah, Tuesday is media day when we talk to players and coaches, and if this is not resolved by the time that Josh Heupel takes the podium around lunchtime on Tuesday, if it's not resolved by then, I think he's gonna say one way or another, either Boo's on the team or off the team.
Well,
so Tuesday's the day. Okay.
Great stuff, Adam. It's great to have you back, brother. We hope to feature you again very soon. But let everybody know how to follow your work and covering the Vols for the Knoxville News.
Yeah, great to be on again, guys. In print, here's Knoxville News Sentinel, online, knoxnews.com, and then on Twitter, it's @AdamSpark.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so circle Tuesday on your calendar. Rocky Top could either crumble
or
it could be solid.
Boo, I'm back. Or it could be boo-hoo.
Oh,
we don't
look
know.
At you. Boo-hoo.
And it's so late in the process. Where does Boo Carter go? Does he end up resurfacing really fast, or
he couldn't go to an SEC school,
or does he end up out there with James Franklin boo-hooing and
he could go to UCLA with Nico,
or something. I don't know. Does he end up in the Big Ten, or does it really fast? Does he go it? Because here's the thing. He's not a graduate, so it's not like he could just all of a sudden graduate and I'm going into the transfer portal. Is he in purgatory for a year? Does he have to take a red shirt and just sit out?
I don't know.
Because this, with all his rev share and his NIL, the payment's going to stop if he, if he's not on the roster.
It's an interesting case.
Yeah.
It's really one of the first ones that we've had kind of like this.
And see, because Nico's was in the spring, right after spring.
And like Adam said, he didn't miss any practices.
So can they mend the fences here? That's
and technically, Boo Carter hasn't missed any practices. Yeah. He's missed the voluntary stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'll never forget, even though I do try to forget fraud phony, But I'll never forget Franchione basically saying, we'll voluntarily not play you.
All right, let's get a break in. Oh, we'll wrap up hour one next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dipped snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
I'm here with our good friend John Kendall. He's got 23 years of retail mortgage experience in the Tennessee Valley, and he's powered up with the #1 retail mortgage lender in the nation.
That's right, Scott. We have joined with Cross Country Mortgage, and that is true. We're the #1 retail mortgage lender in America. And with that powerhouse team and our experience here locally, we're ready to go.
They've got 120 mortgage, refinance, and home equity solutions to fit every need. If you call on Cross Country Mortgage, it is for the win.
That's right. You can reach me, Scott, at 256-562-3780, or you can go to crosscountrymortgage.com and then search my name.
It's Cross Country Mortgage and John Kendall, a powerhouse team. One more time, John.
That's crosscountrymortgage.com, 256-562-3780. If we can't close your loan, it simply cannot be closed.
Equal Housing Opportunity Company in MLS, number 3029.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
All right, who do you think, according to Bet Online, has the best odds to be the first SEC coach fired this coming fall?
Oh, Sam Pittman.
No.
What?
Brent Venables.
Really?
6-1 odds.
Oh, man, I think they're going to turn it around with John Mateer. I don't think he's going to get fired. No.
Sam Pittman, by the way, second best odds, 7-1. Hugh Freeze, third best, 8-1.
Wow, Hugh Freeze third, 8-1.
According to Bet Online.
But I think Oklahoma and Auburn are going to turn it around. I mean, I may be wrong about that, but they're my two. Matter of fact, I did do my poll yesterday, Scott. We've been talking about this. No preseason players. I finally just decided to pick the damn poll.
Pick the poll. You did.
Yeah. #1, Texas. #2, Alabama. #3, Georgia. #4, LSU. We all knew about that. I never changed.
Okay.
But then this is where it kind of got interesting. It was a little dicey. #5, Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. #6, Oklahoma. Number 7, Auburn. Number 8, Texas A&M. Number 9, Missouri. Number 10, Florida. Number 11, South Kakalaki, who I think is going to take a step back because of their back into their schedule. Number 12, Tennessee, because I just am not sure what's going on with that. Number 13, Vandy, not going to sneak up on anybody. Number 14, Jeff from the Borough in Kentucky. Number 15, Arkansas. And number 16, Mississippi State, because of their brutal schedule. And I still think they're at a talent deficit.
Okay.
So there you go. And I got the top 4 all making the playoffs.
The top 4 all make okay.
Yeah, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, and LSU. So that is my picks. I am not going to pick one player for preseason all SEC. It's idiotic, but that's where I see the teams finishing right now. When you look at schedules and if things play out, it was tough. Tennessee was tough because I didn't quite know where to put them. Because
right.
Like I told Adam Sparks, I'm not sure how good they're going to be. And so I was just, man, where do I put Tennessee? And because I think Tennessee can go 8-4 and still finish 12th in the SEC. And then Florida, if Lagway's healthy and Missouri has an advantageous schedule, I like Texas A&M and some of their, they get Auburn at home. So, how good's A&M going to be? A&M could even give Texas a run at the end. So we'll see. But I just felt like,
I wish I could find my SEC poll thing that I put in.
Oh,
for the media.
Did send it in?
I did send it in.
I thought they were supposed to send you a copy.
They did, but I don't know where I put it on my computer.
Is it not email?
No,
still?
I can't find it.
Oh,
I thought they sent me a copy of it.
Mine's in my notes in my phone, so I won't lose it. I actually found last year's and just kind of played. What was it, that tic-tac-toe or whatever match game?
Yes, match game, by the way, is back on TV.
Wow.
It's not as good as before, though.
Uh-oh.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
All 3 of the National Series in NASCAR racing in Indianapolis this week. The Truck Series tomorrow night at Lucas Oil Raceway in Indianapolis. Ty Majeski, Corey Hine, the plus 240 co-favorites. Lane Riggs plus 350. Chandler Smith 9-1. Kyle Larson, the plus 135 favorite, to win Saturday's Xfinity Series race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Pennzoil 250. Danny Hamlin plus 450 to win the Brickyard 400 Cup race on Sunday. Kyle Larson plus 550. Ryan Blaney plus 750. Braves drop a 9-3 decision to the Giants yesterday. Braves are on the road at the Texas Rangers tomorrow. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. Locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour 2 is upon us. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. They have been dedicated to providing care that improves lives. And we mentioned that we are less than a month away from the start of the high school football season. That means we are less than a month away from SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center starting their Saturday sports clinic. Starting August 30th, for all those nicks and bruises that you may have on a Friday night or something, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center will begin their Saturday SportsMed Sports Clinic beginning Saturday, August 30th, and it'll run every Saturday through November 1st. So that's SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. SEC Media Days, one of the best things about it is the food, because it is really good.
Yeah.
The fourth best thing may just be that we get to reconnect with a lot of people for the first time, second time, or even third time.
Well, we're great friends with Crain and Company, that show on the Real Daily Wire and YouTube. One of the best shows out there, sports shows, because it covers the full gamut. Professional sports, they cover the Olympics. But, of course, bread and butter is still college athletics, college football. Our next guest is the brother of Jake Crain. And, of course, Jake is a big part of our show. So is David Cohn. He's been a part of our show. He's been a part of the Blitz. We wanted to bring in Blain Crain now, the third amigo on this outstanding show. We wanted to feature him today and talk some college football, because that's a big topic right now for Crain and Company. And, of course, you can catch them daily, Monday through Friday on YouTube. And Blain Crain has been kind enough to join us this morning on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Blain, for the first time, welcome to Huntsville with Drew and Scott. It's an honor to have you. Good morning, sir.
What's up, fellas? It's an honor to be here. And look, y'all are smart men. You end up saving the best for last.
There you go. That's a great way to put it. That is a great way to put it.
Oh,
now correct me if I'm wrong. Now, you guys used to you for a while we would have Jake on, and you guys were doing the morning. Y'all, we're doing the mornings. Mornings can be kind of tough. It's daily. Y'all are still in the afternoons, right?
Yeah, so we usually record. We'll record at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we'll put our show out at 2, because we used to be a live show. Trust me.
Yeah, you guys did for years. Yes.
I feel for y'all doing the morning, because like not only do you have to hype yourself up, but you have to hype up everybody when you get into the office, especially when you hit it that early. So look, anything I can do to help, I'll send some coffee.
There we go.
There's a new Dunkin' Donuts that's open up by my place.
We have one right outside our door. Trust me. Yeah, and hey, my co-host Scott is a huge foodie. We got a donut shop built.
Scott right across so we got one right across, literally the road from us being built. So it's going to be a fantastic time when that one opens up.
Big topic.
Yeah, big topic for us over the last 24, 48 hours has been the Big Ten taking shots at the SEC. I mean, just not even disguising it, just flat out calling out their scheduling preferences over the SEC scheduling.
Yeah, your thoughts on the Big Ten, Blain?
Well, the first thing is, you're making your media days about the SEC, in my opinion. When it's supposed to be about this week, it's supposed to be about your conference. It's supposed to be about your team. You're going to come out, and what you're saying is completely false. I mean, just go look at the teams, go look at the numbers. It really doesn't make that big of a difference of the amount of FCS teams that the conferences is playing. But, I've always thought, like, if I'm the Big Ten, I would try to join forces with the SEC. I mean, you could have a monopoly over college football, which you basically already have. You're two billionaires. Why not join up together and just pick on all the other conferences? I mean, Shaq and Kobe, Jordan and Pippen. You could be the two GOATs right now of college football, but no, the Big Ten's basically teamed up with the ACC to come out and talk crap about the SEC. So now what you've done, your entire media weeks, when it's supposed to be about you, your program, your culture, your environment, what you're improving, no, you didn't. You came out and you made it about the SEC. So right now, the Big Ten headlines and the ACC headlines are about the SEC.
Well, and the underlying story, we Scott and I have been talking about this this morning, especially. Look, we understand Ohio State won the national championship, great football team, Michigan the year before, but what people aren't talking about is in their first year in the league, Oregon is the Big Ten champion. To me, that doesn't speak well of the depth of the Big Ten.
No, and I agree. And look, the only reason they really have a leg to stand on is because they won the last two national championships. And Oregon came in, and the way Oregon beat them, too. I've said this about Dan Lanning's teams, which is the most surprising to me. Dan Lanning's, his defenses play the worst against the playoff teams. You go look, and you saw that last year. So I think it's just it's a bunch of theater. It's a bunch of show. The fact that Kirk Signetti is getting up there and saying anything about SEC schedule after what their non-conference is. it's an absolute joke. You can't take it serious at all. It's propaganda. That's what it is.
So, with all this being said, the SEC has not won a national title. I get it, in 2 years.
Yeah.
How important then is this? I mean, should us as SEC fans root for anybody and everybody, any one of these 16 teams from the SEC to win a title this year?
Well, it gets to the point where if they talk enough crap to where it pisses us off enough to where we will cheer for every team in the SEC, I can understand that. But it's so hard for me. The whole conference affiliation thing, as a fan, I've never really understood it. Being an Auburn fan myself, the last team I ever want to see win anything important is Alabama. Now, I'll approach it from a neutral standpoint, about their team for sure. But, I've never gotten behind the conference affiliation. I want my team to do good. I want my team to do good.
I would agree
want to
with
win
this.
all the games, win the championships.
Yeah.
I hope every other team in the SEC wins 6 games.
Yeah. Well, and we've asked Jake about this, and he's talked about talking's done. It's time to win. What is your thoughts on Hugh Freeze? Now, I've said going into the year, man. Look, my point was they're making all this stuff about recruiting, talking about it, and I just said, and is playing golf. Who cares? Everybody plays golf. I just think that he's got to win. They got to beat Baylor. He's got to win games. I thought they would step up last year and end up in a bowl game, not make the playoff, be in contention. I've stuck my neck out again. I'm going with them in Oklahoma to have the most upward mobility. But your thoughts on Hugh Freeze year 3?
And look, I don't want to attack a man or 10 o'clock.
Oh, feel free to do so.
That's tough. I was big on Hugh Freeze coming to Auburn. We believed in Hugh. I knew we were in trouble when he just kept Peyton Thorne out of the portal. When got nobody else.
Right.
Because look, at Hugh Freeze, at the end of the day, he's a quarterback guy, quarterback coach, quarterback guru, and he thought Peyton Thorne was good enough after the year that he had to come back and win at Auburn. And when stepping it up at Auburn is going to a bowl game, we're in trouble, right? We're in trouble because that's not the standard at Auburn. And I'm trying to think of things that Hugh Freeze has done right. And it's tough for me to find. He's recruited well, earlier. It's coming back now, but you go get Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma, who was benched by his 4-star, and trust me, I get it. The offensive line was hurt, the receiver was hurt, their ego was hurt, some of the fans were hurt. I mean, whatever. All right, he got benched by his 4-star, did not look great, made the same type of turnovers that Peyton Thorne did. What killed Auburn last year was timely turnovers on offense and not being able to get off the field on third down on defense, right? And there's one thing you can't teach. It is knowing how to finish in college football.
Good point.
And if you watch those games last year, it wasn't all on the players. The Oklahoma game wasn't all on the players. The Alabama game wasn't all on the players. Hell, the Texas A&M game, where we should have clearly won that game and had to go to 4 overtimes to win, it's not all on the players. And then Hugh gets up there during the SEC media days and says, he's told his defense to take it easy a little bit on Jackson Arnold to build up his confidence. Well, if you're going to baby him in practice, he's going to get treated like a baby in the game, and it's not going to be close. So I'm worried. Right now, I think Auburn, a great season for Auburn, would be win 8 games. You beat Georgia, Alabama, and if you're Hugh Freeze, you need that. And if you're not going to do that, the only thing that will save you, it's the Billy Napier treatment. You better put Deuce in. You put Deuce in, and that's the only person that can save you if you're not winning football games. DJ Lagway said Billy Napier for another year, so maybe Deuce can save Hugh for another year. I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope Jackson Arnold comes out here and and looks like the next big thing. That's what I hope. I don't see it, but Hugh has to figure it out this year. I mean, he probably has one of the hottest seats in college football.
So you didn't buy the playoff expectations surrounding this Auburn team that Hugh used at SEC Media Days?
No, I mean, I don't think – I mean, I think Hugh believes it, but, I mean, if you approach it from a realistic standpoint, you look at Auburn, you know, I mean, they have a good roster, but it's not a playoff roster, right? You don't have a playoff quarterback. I haven't seen you be able to finish games against inferior teams. I mean, you lost to Vanderbilt and Cal last year. You want me to sit up here and talk about the playoffs? Can we go to a bowl game?
Talking to Blain Crain, co-host of Crain and Company. Before you go, we got a couple of minutes left. What are your picks? Who do you like in the SEC this year? Obviously, you think Auburn's on shaky ground, which could put Hugh Freeze directly on the hot seat. But who do you like in the conference?
Okay, to win it, or maybe a little top four,
Well,
top five?
I go top 4, top 5, because to me the top 4 I think is getting in the playoff, because I had Texas, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, and I got them in the playoff. That was my top 4. And then really it gets a little dicey. It's tough to pick 5 through 16, but who kind of are your top 4? Because I think to me the top 4, maybe even the top 5 are going to be heavily in playoff contention. Maybe the SEC could get 5. We'll see.
Yeah, I'd say Texas. We'll see what Arch Manning is. He'll never live up to his name because it's almost impossible unless he came down and started walking on water. But their roster is so good around him. Then I would go Georgia second. I'd go Bama third. And see, this is when it gets dicey. Because look, guys, I want to believe in LSU. I really do.
Right.
I really do. Right. You have talent. You bring back the experienced quarterback. You know, this is the year Whit Weeks is pissed off. Like, I understand that. Okay. But y'all have to prove to me someone on defense, you can tackle somebody, right, before I can really put you. I think right now, Oklahoma or Florida would be my fourth. I don't know which one yet. I'm telling you, Oklahoma is going to be a problem.
I do like Oklahoma. Right.
John Mateer, I know he hadn't done the SEC yet, but I'm telling you, he's an absolute gamer. The game's not going to speed up too much for him joining. You bring Jay Knott, and Venables is going to have that defense locked down. And Florida. Look, and I've gave Billy Napier hell over the years, and I understand that. Their schedule is an absolute gauntlet. It's like the Lord of the Rings movie. But I'm telling you, DJ Lagway is disgusting. That offensive line is one of the best in the country. Eugene Wilson is back and healthy. You have 2 great backs, and your defense now has depth. So I think Florida could be one of those teams that could sneak up, and from a roster talent standpoint, I think they're top 5 in the SEC. So I'd go Texas, Georgia, probably Bama, then Oklahoma or
Florida.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very. I mean, I've got Florida, I believe 10th, but I think they could move up. I mean, I do love Lagway. I don't know how healthy is going into the season. That's the only thing that worries me. But
he looked good at SEC Media Days. I'll just say that.
241, brother. I mean,
the dude's an absolute oak tree and can run.
Yeah, there's no question. Well, have a great show later today. And now we do know it's a recorded show, but hey, that's the best thing about it. You can go back and edit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we've done some recorded shows ourselves, but again, we appreciate the time, continued success. We look forward to continuing to feature Crain and Company via the Real Daily Wire, the trio, one of the best in the business. It was good to see you in Nashville as well, brother. We thank you for taking the time and talking some college football this morning.
Absolutely, fellas. Love coming on the show, and good for y'all for Dude in the Morning. We need more soldiers like you guys to actually show the rest of us how it's done, because we couldn't do it.
It's not too bad. I mean, look, we sit in here.
6:30 to 8 was hard, man.
We sit in here for 2 hours, and I mean, it's not a real labor.
Sometimes you just wake up, go in the bathroom, and stare at yourself for 30 minutes. I understand. I get it.
Thank you, Blain.
There we go. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's get a break in.
They keep you laughing on the.
They do.
Look,
he's got some good takes, but I tell you what, you close your eyes a little bit, and it sounds like Jake had a little bit.
Oh yeah,
just a little bit. Just a little. Let's get a break in.
Same sense of humor.
It is Talkin Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
There's a lot of talk these days about who's the biggest. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. Bigger doesn't equal better.
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. We know we're not the biggest. We don't want to be.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're big enough to handle your case and get you the help you need,
but small enough to welcome you, where you're never just a number. You're part of our family.
The Lackey Law Firm, 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18 cubic foot refrigerator for just $349 while supplies last. Go to OwenAppliance.com to learn more. That's OwenAppliance.com.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more. goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail.
John Abraham here for the parts department at Bobcat of Huntsville. Not only do these guys carry genuine OEM Bobcat parts, they also have a full line of Marshalltown concrete supplies. On top of that, they have a wide selection of arborist tools and supplies on hand for you tree guys. Bobcat of Huntsville also has a full service department. And don't forget the sales and rental guys too. Come on down and visit the all-new Bobcat of Huntsville location in Madison on Highway 20 next to the Redstone Harley-Davidson.
The Atlanta Braves.
3-2. Swung on, ground ball up the middle. Let's go for a ride. Here comes Eli. Across the plate standing. Braves win. Never gets old, does it?
All season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Oh, 8:20 on a Thursday morning. By the way, for those that need to know, this is our last show of the week. We're not doing one tomorrow.
No, we're not.
No, we're not doing a show tomorrow.
Scott,
Seriously.
journey is about to begin.
Yeah, I got to do something for Speedo tomorrow.
I know, but
so
then
I'm done. So we're not doing a show tomorrow.
You're going home to
Monday.
You're getting ready to compete in the Pickleball Nationals.
Yes,
is
Friday.
That what it's called?
A week from Saturday is when I play. It's the U.S.
I'm going to be gone for a week.
State Game Senior Nationals. Yes, over there in Iowa.
See, we're both seniors now because I'm 50. And if anybody wants to, by the way, if you want to come out tonight to the old Greenbrier Barbecue, I will be speaking. We had to push back. We usually have our spring wrap up after Alabama, concludes it. In late April, but we were covering college basketball. We had a lot going on, in the world of sports and in here. And we've also been finalizing this move since February to this radio station, our new spot. So we couldn't get together. And then, of course, the entire month of May ended up being a very busy time. And then June with high school basketball. So we really couldn't wrap up spring practice. Freddie Kirby and I had to conflicting schedules, but we will be out at Greenbrier Barbecue tonight, the old one. If you want to come out, start getting there at 5 o'clock. We're going to talk some Alabama spring practice wrap up. A lot of momentum in recruiting, as you've heard Scott and I talking each day on the show. We've talked about Alabama's football recruiting going very, very well. The Ryan Grubb move, we can talk about that in more detail. Basketball, and that's another thing. With Nate Oates and the Alabama basketball program doing so well, it dominates a lot of conversation. We spend time covering that. And we'll talk Bama hoops tonight as well. But come out, join us, all Bama fans, even if you're just a college football fan, you love hearing great conversation and just taking part. But if you're especially all those Bama fans out there, you want to come out and hear some great conversation, come out to the the old Greenbrier Barbecue. Come on out tonight. For this in this NATI meeting that we have that's annual, usually in April, but we had to push it back to July. But still a lot of conversation and a lot of momentum for Alabama football, and we can also talk about what we heard at SEC Media Days.
I think there's only one Greenbrier restaurant left.
Yeah, there is, because
the other one closed down
years ago.
Yeah,
because actually, if you remember, they were another great sponsor of ours. 306 Barbecue took it over. Wes, had us out there. We would have my mid morning show out there, and then we would also have the drive. But that 306, they still are in Florence and they're still loud and proud. But that location closed. That was the last time it was a restaurant.
Yeah, now I think it's a pawn shop or something.
It's a whole business. It's not a restaurant anymore. What was the new Greenbrier, they called it. But the old Greenbrier is still kicking. They've got a new sign out there. It's still, they did a story on it the other day. It's become an institution, but you can come out tonight and hear some great Crimson Tide basketball, football conversation.
The Conference USA Media Days are ongoing as well. And of course, that means Jack State and new head coach Charles Kelly getting a chance to speak for the first time. Yesterday,
man, I hate we used to be able to go down there and take part. They always take great care.
We went for the free shoes.
Yeah, I know. My dad still wears them, man.
So Jacksonville State, before they made the move to Division I, when they were in Division I, when they were in Division II, they would host a media day, and it was great. You would be invited to go down there. They would have lunch. You would be able to hear from the coaches, all the coordinators. And the highlight of the day was at the end, you'd have to stay till the end, but they would open up their shoe vault and you would go to the window and you would tell the guy the size of your shoe. He would go back and get you a box and bring it to you. And it was a box of brand new shoes, courtesy of Jacksonville State. That was your gift for showing up at Jack State Media
we
Days.
should have had it locked and loaded just to play the old rap song, My Adidas.
And Tokyo went down. Remember, the three of us went down there.
Yeah. Tokyo threw his shoes in the trash can.
It was the last year that they actually did it. Tokyo put on the new shoes and threw his old ones in the trash can, and then proceeded to wear those ones for another year.
Yeah, he did. And then I don't think we went back the next year, so I thought he might do it again, just throw the old ones in the trash. And
here is Charles Kelly about what he walked into when he took over as the Jack State head coach.
Control what we can control. That's the bottom line. So when I took the job in December, the day after I accepted the job, I get to our office, and the most important thing that I had to address was roster management. And it was a shock that day. We had 47 guys on scholarship and one quarterback and one corner. So we had to get out and start working, and our staff, and I've got a tremendous coaching staff and support staff. They've done an incredible job of, first of all, identifying, evaluating people that we wanted to bring into the program, and then recruiting those people. And now it's our job to develop them. So we've got 51 new additions since, December 22nd. I think 26 of those were high school players. 25 of those are, collegiate transfers. And, no different when we
26 high school, 25 transfers, 51 new players for Jack State.
That's just the way it is when you change coaches, man. Rich Rod going back home to West Virginia where he never should have left, and Charles Kelly grinded for a long time, but now getting his chance, the Auburn alum, to go to Jack State. And it's not like, you know, in years past, even 5 years ago, you'd say, well, he's inheriting a really good program. Rich Rod left a lot of good stuff in play, but now all the players leave. So now you're basically just starting all over, nearly anyway. As you said, 51 new players, but it's tough. I do like Charles Kelly. I hope he does well. Jack State's built a new football operations building. I saw that. I think it's about a year old now. It's beautiful, though, and they've heavily invested in their facilities, and they still are.
256-576-4977. That's how you can join us. By the way, if you want to watch the entire Charles Kelly press conference from yesterday's Conference USA Media Days, head to our YouTube page, and you can listen to the entire thing there. Let's go out to the phone lines. Brandon is with us real fast. Good morning, Brandon.
What's up, man?
Man, I'm sitting here. Stuff pops up on YouTube Tuesday. Parker Ainsworth, Locked on Cougs podcast. Talking about Memphis getting turned down at Big 12.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Trying to give him $200 million.
$200 million, yeah. $200 million and not take any money from the conference for 5 years.
Yeah.
But think about this, though. UCF and Memphis, they were close to both becoming part of the Big 12. UCF got the bid, and the Big 12 did not go after Memphis. If UCF had kind of bottomed out and dropped down or whatever, then Memphis would have gotten that bid to the Big 12 instead of UCF. But now the Big 12 does not need or want Memphis.
Well, I listened to the predominant part of that Parker guy's cast, and first off, I want to give him an award. Congratulations for being as petty about it as he is. The gleeful cheer that he had in him, trying not to laugh talking about it, is rival. The entire podcast about Locked on Cougs was basically about Memphis getting turned down. So when you're that big of a fan and you're that petty, I'll give you a salute because I thought it was hilarious. But this guy goes into all kind of great detail about FedEx and AutoZone ponying up money and talking about significant dates. And he's talking about if they're not in by 2031, they're probably going to be locked into the group of six. And he's the first person I've heard say group of six lately. So I guess that lets us know where we are with the Power Four and group of six. But he goes on into this thing, and it was hilarious. And he had a lot of big-time inside information. And he says that it never came to a vote, that the money was just not good enough, and they never really gave them consideration. And I'm thinking, how bad do you be to offer that kind of money to a conference and agree to not take money and do all these things and can't even get it to a vote?
Yeah. That it
just goes to show you that even the Memphis basketball brand doesn't mean what it used to, because basketball wise, they have a lot of tradition. They've been to Final Fours, things of that nature. Even just, over a decade ago, 15, 16, 17 years ago, John Calipari, if they could have made free throws, would have won a national championship there. But all of a sudden, their basketball doesn't mean that much. Even improving football as they have, because they're a good group of five. Well, you want to say group of six program now with the Pac-12, I guess, in the group of six. And they won 11 games, I think, last year, but they just don't seem to have the panache that where people want them. I would agree with Brandon. You don't hear their name come up when all this conference when it comes to a Power Four conference.
We talked to Brett Norsworthy at SEC Media Days.
We did.
And we flat out asked him, what is the town of Memphis? Do they even get behind Memphis football? Do they even care about Memphis football? And he was like, no, not really. He goes, they only care about it when you don't talk about them. Yeah. Because they want you to talk about them, but they don't actually care about going to the games. They don't actually care about being there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I took a look at that situation, and I believe it was Ross Dellinger. But they were talking about, he said, breaking the story.
Yeah.
And he pulls the ACC into this and says, do we think that the ACC leaked this story because they were possibly in negotiations with the ACC, and the ACC knew that the Big 12 was going to turn it down, so they leaked it on purpose on the first day of their media days in order to get Memphis to want them to join them and pay even more. And if that's the case, that's pretty sinister.
Truth.
Well, there's a lot of stuff from behind the scenes in these negotiations and, leaks that come out, stories that come out. There's a reason why some of these stories do come out when they do, because there's an ulterior motive to a lot of them. So, I mean, you never know. You never know. Because they always say conference realignment's not done. They always say, watch out for the next big one. I don't know if Memphis would be a big one, but they always say, watch out.
Well, this date of 2031, this guy, Parker, was making a big significance about it. And I haven't seen, I don't know if there's something going on with contracts or TV, or they're talking about the ACC when they can get out of their grant of rights or whatever's going on. But he seems to be convinced that by 2031, that the conference alignment for the Power Four is going to be set and it's not going to move. So that may be something to watch out and look for. And but when you got FedEx, AutoZone, and all these places getting ready to pony up to help you pay all this money, and then you get turned down, I mean, I guess at this point you ought to just get Milo Sweet Tea and see if you can make it a cool 300.
No. All right, man. Thanks
I
for the
took
phone
some
call,
half and
bud.
half into the last day.
Yeah. Milo Sweet Tea. By the way, yes.
Thank you for Brandon.
Half
Hey,
sweet
Brandon,
tea, half lemonade.
Yeah, Brandon tweeted at Milo's for me, and they even quoted it. Man, Milo's responded.
Did they? What'd they say?
They just gave us some hearts. Just I was bringing in the media days. Maybe we can get some free Milos.
Walking with the jug.
Walking with the jug.
All right, Alex Miller is going to join us next.
He ain't gonna have a jug.
We talk about Texas A&M being up there. Can they do it? But you know what? Somebody put out the other day that Texas A&M's record over the last 5-6 years, 6-7 years is exactly the same as NC State's as far as like numbers go. Like they haven't achieved. They've achieved about as much as NC State.
1939.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk Texas A&M football next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-90s. A couple of isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible, but I also think the vast majority of us are going to end up staying dry. We drop into the mid-70s through the overnight. Much the same for your Friday. A mostly to partly sunny sky. Temperatures climbing into the low 90s. A couple of isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. But hurry, this offer is only good through June 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Have you seen the beautiful new Nexus apartment community right next to UAH? Nexus is designed exclusively for students. You'll love having private bedrooms and bathrooms, a fully furnished kitchen, and incredible amenities like 2 courtyards, a refreshing pool with grilling stations, and TV, gaming, and study lounges, all within an easy walk to campus and your classes. If you want the full collegiate experience, come take a personal tour at Nexus today. Log on nexusonhomes.com to see more, including limited time rate specials.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is "We show up." Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. 8:37 on a Thursday, our final day of the week. It's going to really be awful once the calendar turns to August and we've got to work 5 days.
Whatever. Not focusing on that right now. I'm focusing on finishing this show and then being at the old Greenbrier Barbecue tonight and welcoming. We've had a show today that's been interesting. We welcomed an old guest back to the show.
Yes.
And then we'll have our second
guest.
straight new guest and a guy that we touched base with and, of course, had some FaceTime in the great city of Atlanta at the College Football Hall of Fame.
It is. And the Texas A&M Aggies were one of those teams that they came in on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
They were the last team to leave the College Football Hall of Fame.
That's true.
And the question is surrounding the Aggies, what's in store for Mike Elko in year two? What do we expect? Will there be a big jump? Will there be a big leap?
Well, to me, they're one of a handful of wild card and mystery teams. I think they could finish as high as fourth in the league, but then they could end up 11th. I mean, I do think they're going to have a good football team, but could they have a really good to great football team? I thought Mike Elko was a good hire. I thought he did a great job at Duke. He saved Dirtneck, a.k.a. Jimbo Fisher, as I called him, at A&M, because when he had his best years there was when Mike Elko had come over from Notre Dame, and before that he'd been at Wake Forest against Jimbo at Florida State, and they had great defenses at A&M. So I thought this was a good move, and we're going to talk about it with our next guest. And as I said, I was kind of observing him in the media room, in the main room. I liked, the way he was handling himself, the questions, the people, he was talking football with. So I wanted to add him because we always need more Texas A&M insight. He does a great job for the Bryan College Station Eagle covering Texas A&M athletics. And we're welcoming Alex Miller to the show on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Alex, you're with Drew and Scott in Huntsville, Alabama. How are you?
Hey, guys. Doing pretty well. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and is A&M a mystery team to a degree? Because I know I like Marcel Reed. I know they have talent. Recruiting was not the problem under Jimbo. It's more retention and development. And I thought Mike Elko had some bright moments last year. There were still going to be bumps in the road, but it was really hard for me. I can't really get a grip on how good A&M may be this year.
Yeah, no, I think you're pretty spot on. I think a lot of us are very curious to see, okay, is A&M a team that can actually contend for a playoff, or are they going to have another 8-4, 7-5 type of season? And, Marcel Reed, everybody starts with the quarterback, right?
Right.
He is guy that, he is a guy that last year he won some pretty big football games. His first start ever, and I get it, Florida wasn't very good at the time, but A&M hadn't won a road game in several years. Like, doesn't matter the opponent. They went to the Swamp, and it was a pretty lopsided result. he is the catalyst that helps A&M come back and beat LSU in the second half at Kyle Field. And that's kind of when he took over the starting role, as a lot of people will remember. And so I think for Marcel, it's, can he put on some weight? Can he add to his throwing? And can they get some weapons around him that can really open up the passing game? Because A&M returns everybody on its offensive line. That's a strength of the team. They return a lot of depth in the running back room. That's a strength of the team. Marcel is a great runner. That is a strength of his. Now, can they complement that in the passing game by bringing in guys like Casey Concepcion from NC State, Mario Craver from Mississippi State? Can those type of guys get A&M's offense to the next level that it might not have been a gear that they had last year? And then on the defense, they got a lot of guys back in the secondary that are veterans. They've got their captain at linebacker and Torian York, who was at Media Days. And they've got to replace a lot of talent on the defensive line, but they've brought in a lot of guys that, I think that they're pretty high on, but how's that unit going to mesh together, and who's going to separate themselves from the pack, especially defensive end? A guy to look out for is Cassius Howell. He's a guy that was a big part of their third down package last year, and he had a really good performance in the bowl game when guys like Shamar Stewart and Nick Scorton had already declared for the NFL draft. I feel like in bowl games now, guys like that, that's their opportunity to kind of, that's kind of their coming out party when you have the guys in front of you that might be opting out, and all of a sudden you're finally thrust in that starting role. You're getting the majority of the reps. You want to show out, right? I mean, you've been waiting all season for the opportunity, and that's what Cassius Howell did. He's a guy that I think that they're pretty high going into this season. But, yeah, to make a long story short, A&M's got a lot of potential. Can they put the pieces together to be a playoff contender?
What does the depth look like? And, I mean, I'd have to imagine Mike Elko comes in last year having to build some different positions, fill some different spots with the roster. What does the depth look like in year two for the coach?
Yeah, I think that the depth looks a little more well-rounded, right? I think that last year there were some glaring holes. The receiver was one of them, and that's why the passing game maybe lacked. You look on the defense, they lost a guy in week 2. His name's Tyreek Chappelle. He's their nickelback, and he was a guy that they thought was going to have maybe like an all-SEC type season. Well, he gets hurt in week 2, and they basically have to reshuffle the whole secondary because of that. And it worked for a while. And then I think down the stretch you saw in games like when they lost to South Carolina, or when they lost to Auburn or Texas, or even especially in the USC game. I mean, if anyone wants to go back, they can listen to Mike Elko's press conference after the Las Vegas Bowl loss to USC. And they really struggled in the secondary in their zone pass defense, and he made note of that. He was like, "We're never going to play defense like that again." So that's been a huge emphasis of the offseason. They've got guys healthy again. They've brought in a couple more pieces to maybe fill in some things at corner. They're really hoping a guy like Julian Humphrey from Georgia transfer can be a guy that can step into that corner role and fix some things. And so I think that once they get Chappelle back, they add a guy from the portal that they're pretty high on. They're hoping that some things will resolve itself. Plus, they've kind of tweaked some things, tried to simplify the defensive scheme a little bit, just so that guys are a little more on page this season, I think.
Yeah, and no doubt about it. And I think also the return to health of Le'Veon Moss, because he got off to such a great start last year, Alex, that he looked like he might the SEC in rushing. That was a big blow for the Aggies early.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you could just see the wind was taken out of A&M sails in that South Carolina game, which was bad news for A&M because that crowd that night was nuts. And South Carolina, that was when the engine really started turning. They had come off a big win over Oklahoma, really just put it to them. And then that was the game that I think a lot of people really saw Lenoris Sellers really take off, and he's been a big talk of the offseason, right? I mean, him, Arch Manning, and Lagway for the most part. You could throw Garrett Nussmeier in there, I guess. But, yeah, losing Moss was such a huge deal. They have been very encouraged by his progress in rehabbing this season. You know, coming off an injury like that, though, the guy's got to show it before you really believe it. And so I'm really curious, you know, does he return to the guy that he was, or does he take a little step back? It'll just be interesting to see these first few weeks of the season how that all shakes out. The good news for A&M is that they've got a very deep and veteran running back room. Got to look out for A&M is a guy named Reuben Owen.
He was hurt last year too. Right.
He was hurt most of last year too.
Mm-hmm.
He hurt his foot in preseason camp during a scrimmage, and he came back and played against Texas. But he only ran the ball maybe 3 or 4 times. It was not that much. He did get a little more action against USC in the bowl game, but he is a guy that I think if he can stay healthy, that they are really high on. And he's just a smooth, silky runner that he'll just break away. And it doesn't really look like he's got lightning quick speed, but he can just pull away from people. And he's just a really good downhill runner. And so between him and Moss, you got to think that they're going to have a pretty solid running attack, not to mention some of the other guys that they got as well.
What do it is the Southeastern Conference. It's one up front in the trenches. What's the offensive line and defensive lines look like for the Aggies going into camp?
The offensive line's got to be in great shape because, as he said, you know, top 7 back, I think, on the O-line.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about they want to go out and win the Joe Moore Award.
Nice.
And that's like their whole goal. I mean, Armandre Reed-Adams, he's their right guard. He flat out said that in our little scrum at SEC Media Days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't see why that's not a reasonable goal. They had a great season last. The funny thing too is at this time last year, offensive line was maybe the biggest question mark that we all had about A&M's team. So to have flipped that script in a year, I think it really shows how good a coach Adam Cushing is on the offensive line. And these guys are just gritty offensive linemen. I mean, they are what you want up front in that unit. And so the good thing about them, they're experienced, they're veterans, and if they have 3 or 2, they have the depth to go to that 6th, 7th, 8th guy and not have a huge drop off. And that's just so big in college football these days, right? I mean, especially up front where you need those type of guys. On the defensive line, I mean, Hal's a guy to watch out for.
Yeah.
Deion Hayes, he's a guy that they brought in from Colorado. He's kind of had an interesting journey. I believe he started his college career at Pitt. He's a guy to look out for. On the inside, they got 2 veteran guys in Albert Regis and DJ Hicks. They're probably going to be anchoring the defensive tackle spot for the most part, but a guy that I think is really going to get in the mix is, and I'm going to butcher his last name, it's Tyler Onyedium. He is a transfer from Iowa State, and I mean, he's got good measurables. He's about 6'3", 295. And I think last year A&M just really missed a guy that could just be that true nose tackle in the middle and just really be a big plug run stopper. And so I think between Regis and Onyedium, those are 2 guys that they're hoping can kind of maybe fill that role. A&M had a guy like that when Elko was here, in McKinley Jackson.
Yes.
Who I think he's from down in Mississippi.
Yes.
So I think that you're gonna see a lot of new faces on the defensive line, but I think these are guys that, you know, if they can get clicking into this defensive scheme, they can probably have some pretty productive seasons.
And final question, Alex Miller, Bryan, College Station Eagle. The schedule's interesting. You know, 3rd week, Notre Dame. That was a big win for the Irish that kind of springboarded them. I'm sure the Aggies would like to go down to South Bend and pay them back. I certainly would like to see that. But what is the fork in the road game in your mind for A&M and to get this season going to being a playoff contender?
Yeah, good question. I really think that it's going to be that Florida game at home early in conference play. I think that's their second game in conference play.
Right.
I think it's going to be a really good litmus test for both teams. Because Florida is a team that a lot of people are high on, and I'm really curious, can they really make that big a jump in one season?
Mm-hmm.
Now, A&M didn't have to play Eugene Wilson last year. He was hurt in that game. Lagway is a very different player than when A&M played. Lagway had arguably his worst game of the season last year against A&M. And so he's going to be fired up. I mean, I covered him in high school. He played some of our local teams here in College Station.
That's right.
And we were over at his little scrum being like, "Hey man, what do you remember about playing at school in Bryan?" He's like, "Oh my gosh," he's trying to pull that recall from his memory. Pretty crazy, but that's a game that I think is huge. It's a home game. It's a game against a team that will likely be ranked. It's a team that is eager to get going, and Napier needs to have a good season. Everybody knows that. And so if A&M can win that game early in conference play, going into a big road stretch against teams like Arkansas and LSU. A&M hadn't won a game at LSU since 1994.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy.
Really.
I wasn't even born then. I hope that doesn't offend y'all.
No,
but,
we understand.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of history on that one. So this is going to be a big season for A&M, right?
Yep.
If Elko can get the Aggies to contend for a playoff spot, or even just get there, if they can get to the playoffs, that's going to be huge for A&M's trajectory. If they don't, it's going to be really interesting to see what the pulse around Aggieland is at the end of the year.
Well, great stuff, Alex. We appreciate it. We look forward to reconnecting with you again soon. Let everybody know how to follow your work.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at AlexMill22Ls. Feel free to read our stuff at theeagle.com. Hey, we got a Huntsville native on our high school staff. His name's Jake Weiss. He does a great job. He went to Auburn. Hope that doesn't offend anybody else.
No way.
Show.
That's awesome, man.
So,
Huntsvillian.
So yeah.
Good karma.
So there you go.
Thank you, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
bud.
you.
All right, let's get that
guys.
final break in. Talking Ball next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
TalentHVAC.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a back compressor or leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
conference games. So if we're going to play 9 conference games and the other conferences are going to play 8, then why would we ever want to continue to just keep adding a 10th game that you're going to have to play another FBS team unless everybody's going in? Right? You don't want to be one game behind ever. Right? The NFL to have like one game against the CFL or the AFL in the middle of their season.
We could keep playing hits from the Big Ten media days. That was Washington coach Jed Fish. I mean, we have all these lined up.
Is that Stephen Burrow? Come out to the old Greenbrier Bar. You have some great conversations.
There we go.
Travels. We won't see you for a while.
No, we'll not be back until, I think, the 4th of August.
Wow.
It's only 1 week.
I know.
With the summer heating up, it's time to cool down, and what better way to do that than enjoy some Handel's homemade ice cream. Handel's ice cream makes each batch by hand using only the best tasting ingredients to serve ice cream lovers in the Tennessee Valley. With 2 locations to serve ice cream lovers along Highway 72 West and 1 in Jones Valley, the #1 ice cream on the planet, according to National Geographic magazine, is just a quick drive and scoop away. It's Handel's ice cream, where the proof is in the scoop.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Alabama knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit Woody Anderson